I cannot explain how terrified I am to have to go through theatre again, because it turns out when you have a heart transplant, you don't actually just go to theatre once. You have to go quite a lot of times, because you have the actual surgery, but then aside from the surgery, they then have to take ECMOs out of you, which means you got to go to theatre again. Then you have drains and stuff where you got to go to theatre. Cheers, Rossi, cheers, Ali. Thank you, whoever sent the melon thing. Cheers for the roses. But yeah, there's like so much shit. Yeah, dialysis. I did have dialysis. So basically, I woke up, my kidneys just weren't working. So my kidneys, they just weren't doing much, basically. And then even when they started to produce urine and stuff, they weren't clearing my blood. So say like, they were making me produce urine, but they weren't clearing anything out of my blood. So my blood was just getting filled with toxins, basically. So I had to go on to dialysis to get my blood cleared out. And then I think it was like a day or two into dialysis, the tube in my neck that they were doing the dialysis started to not work. So then the dialysis machine wouldn't work. So they had to keep trying it and trying it and trying it, and it just kept not working. So then I had to go like a day without the dialysis because they just couldn't get the machine to work. And then luckily for me, thanks so much, Ames. Cheers, Greener. Slowly but surely, my kidneys have turned on a bit and started to work a bit more. So at this current moment in time, I'm not on dialysis or anything. I'm just running off my own kidneys, but I'm having to take medication each day to basically try and force them to work a bit harder. But I'm hoping slowly but surely, as I heal up a bit, they'll continue to start to work more and more on their own. And I'm hoping as well that the infection should clear up from, cheers Minnie, cheers Catherine, I'm hoping the infection should clear up from the antibiotics, in which case it just leaves me with this blood clot. Now, the blood clot, I think they may be willing to try the blood thinners for like a good couple months before going to surgery. Appreciate that. But yeah, the scary thing is, if it don't go, let's say I have 6 months go by, and then the blood clot still hasn't gone, I'll then half be healed up and have to get broken open again to then remove it. So I'm just so badly hoping that clears up, but there's nothing I can do about it. So I basically just gotta take my meds, get ready. I'm hopefully going home tomorrow. Cheers, live, cheers, Tyler. And then I'll like self-inject the blood thinners each day as well as the normal medication. I think they're willing to give it a couple months, and then I'll regularly get tested. Every time I get a biopsy and have my heart tested, they should check to see how big or small the blood clot is. So far the blood clot hasn't been getting any smaller though, it's just been staying dead on the same size. But I'm hoping obviously with time it will slowly start to go. But at this moment in time, I guess it's too early really to be able to know either way. Yeah, right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else important that I need to say. I'm trying to think. Let me think. Has anyone got questions? Like, is there something I'm forgetting to say? What is it that you want to know? Because I know my whole family has been getting bombarded every single day for updates. So start clearing up things. I also know there was the rumour of the viral video saying I'd passed away, which is, I can't lie, whoever created that, you are next level, like, horrible. But yeah, some weirdo made a video saying I'd passed away. It did over 1 million views in about a day or two, and every time Spartans would get took down, TikTok kept putting it back up. And I think now it's permanently down, thank God. But that was terrible, because I had actual friends and family ring me really upset thinking I'd passed away because of that video, and some of my good friends had their girlfriends ring them and tell them to leave work and then say to them that their mate had passed away, and then they've called me like to check, and obviously it was a lie. And so whoever made that video, you're probably watching, and I just want you to know you actually caused like a lot of like upset, you know. And yeah, and the person blocked me, I guess, so that I couldn't see. But obviously, when a video goes viral like that, I'm gonna know. And yeah, that was like really bad. I can't lie. You caused a lot of people to be upset. This does vitamin like orange juice basically before anyone knows. What? Why is this your last live? Well, it might not be, but it might be. That's what I was saying. Because I couldn't decide if it was. I couldn't decide if it was streaming. So I don't know. The thing is, it's hard for me to really know anything at the minute because I can't lie. Like, obviously, I can sit here and talk to you, but throughout the day, I do have hours where I'm like really like not good. Like, so say right now I'm alright, but in the day, sometimes I can just sit shaking for hours because the side effects of these medications are really hardcore. Like the tacrolimus can make both your kidneys just sit and ache for hours on end, and it makes you feel cold from the inside out, and you literally just sit shaking and shaking for like hours on end. Like when I first was taking it, I would take the tacrolimus and I would then literally be freezing from the inside out, and my whole body would be shaking non-stop, and it wouldn't stop for like 6 hours. And until at least 6 hours had went by, I wouldn't be able to calm at all. Luckily, over the days when the dosages have come down a bit, and so it's not as bad now, it's like calmed down quite a bit. One sec, let me just check. By the way, sorry, people saying I missed gifts. My internet's really laggy. Shout Chris Riley, Wills, Just Money, Live Live, Bootang, Birdman, Rossi, Youngblood, Lottie, Donna, User 127, Mal, Spanish Scrub, Caroline, Tila. Cheers guys, I'm sorry if I missed anything. But it's like hard because I'm trying to explain. I'm also trying to watch this and the comments are going so fast. Yeah, so the tacrolimus anyway, at first it would be like you take it, cheers Kaz, cheers S, and literally, I swear to God, for 6 hours straight, I would just be non-stop shaking. And it ain't as bad now because the dosages are a bit lower and I've got a bit more used to it, and I've realised when you take it, what happens is you start shaking, your breathing's like crazy too, and you start to have like aches, even your organs like within the side just start aching, I guess from, I don't know, I think it's from all the shaking. But what I realise is if I sit there and I just non-stop focus on trying to slow my breathing down, once I manage to control my breathing, then it starts to, like, I start to not shake quite so bad throughout my body. And so my method of dealing with it is I take the tablets, and then once I start shaking and going crazy, I then just sit there, and I'll sit there for like an hour straight, just non-stop trying to control my breathing and slow it down a bit. And then once I manage to get the breathing into control, then slowly the aches and that inside me start to calm down a bit, and then I can slowly start to shake less, and then I manage to be somewhat under control then, and it's like alright. And then obviously as the hours go on and it dies out your system a bit, then obviously you get alright again. But yeah, so if anyone, just for anyone that does ever take TAC, there you go, that's what I do. It's if you're struggling with it. But yeah, I should hopefully be out of hospital tomorrow or Wednesday, assuming everything goes okay tomorrow. Like assuming my bloods and everything come back alright, then fingers crossed, hopefully get to go tomorrow the next day. Then when I get home, I'm going to need to like heal up and just chill and stuff for a bit. I'll maybe come on like, I don't know, just whenever I get a chance, like whenever I'm not feeling terrible. Yeah, but see, cause that's another thing is I know with TikTok it's like, if I say I come on now like this and I'm talking right and that, I know the vast majority of people will just assume that I'm the exact same as this all day every day. But that's the problem, because some days I'm only like this for like 2-3 hours, and then the rest of the day I'm just sitting there shaking and like feeling terrible or severely tired, because I can't, like, I've never felt side effects like what these heart meds do to you. And but then other days I could actually be alright for like most of the day and only have a couple of days where I'm bad. But the problem is, I know if I start streaming, everyone will assume I'm alright and I'm like that 24/7, and then they're going to want me streaming 24/7, but I just don't have the health within me to be able to do streams like I used to do, or at least not at this point in time I don't anyway. It's like that's another thing too, is if I was to stream I won't be able to do it how I did before, like I won't be able to put that amount of hours in because it's just not possible. But yeah, so it's like I don't know how we're gonna work it, but I'll go home, chill. I need to get a haircut. I need to get rid of I need to sort some things out. I look bloody awful. Get clothes that fit because I'm water retaining terrible. Like I'm nowhere near this heavy usually, so none of my clothes really fit me. I'm gonna need to get some bigger clothes until the water retention goes out, and then I'm trying to think what's like important that I haven't said. I know there's definitely more important things to speak about, but I just can't think. I'll join Youngblood in a sec, 1 minute. I'm trying to think of what else I haven't said yet. Oh, I've got this Canyon round 2 is absolutely killing me because I can't lie, it's due to have been out a couple of days ago to be fair, but because I know I'm going home tomorrow anyway, I don't see the point in moaning about it because then I'm going to have this took out, a new one put in, just to then get taken out tomorrow anyway, so I'd rather just put up with that hurting me because I've only got to have one more set of IV for it tomorrow and then I'm like good to go. Yeah, I'm trying to think. What am I missing? I don't know. What questions have you got? Oh, there you go. Youngblood's not even live. He's watching the stream. How are your kidneys? My kidneys aren't doing good. They're doing pretty bad, to be fair. If you want me to be honest, but they're not. They've come up enough for me to not need the dialysis anymore. So they are slowly getting better. Touch wood, fingers crossed. It's just taking a bit of time. But I will admit it's because the ECMO really puts your kidneys through it. And then the heart medications are really bad for your kidneys too. So it's like the ECMO gives them a beating. It's like the ECMO's beat them up with a bat, and then you're giving them a few extra kicks with the heart meds. But it's like they should slowly get a bit better. But I think it's just going to take some more time. Do you know? What was that? Did you know you were going to theatre 3 times? Well, obviously not. How would I have known that I was going to have 3 stand downs? It just happens, doesn't it? Have you heard about Ed Matthews? Yeah, I have heard about Ed Matthews. Wait, is he going to surgery or is he coming out of surgery? Mate, I've got a massive scar down my chest and I've literally got all this where they've took out the wires that are in me. I've already been through the surgery. R.I.P. What are you telling me? R.I.P. Was your rejection biopsy okay? Yeah, it was good. It was 0% rejection. How long were you on the ECMO? I don't know because obviously I was knocked out, weren't I? So I ain't got a clue. How long was you in surgery? I think it was 10 hours. I was in for either 10 or 12 hours, something like that. But then obviously I didn't wake up straight away. It's like the actual surgery was say 10 to 12 hours, but I was asleep for God knows how long. I don't know how long I was asleep, but I was asleep for a while. But what's funny is when they were turning the machine down, so say they have you when they start turning the breathing machine down, they put it to a minimum, so it's still helping you, but your body can make the occasional breath on its own. And so they said to my family, we're going to turn it down a bit, and you probably won't have any breaths for a while, but just keep an eye on whenever the machine flashes green, it means it's trying to breathe on its own. They turned it down to just the minimum amount, so I'm still getting help mostly by the machine, so I shouldn't have really been breathing yet. But the second they turned it down even a tiny bit, apparently I just automatically started trying to breathe and wake up on my own. And so it's mad because it's the second I was able to, I was already fighting to wake up instantly. It's crazy. Instead of ended up being asleep for a whole week, the second I was able to, I was fighting to wake up instantly. I weren't waiting a whole week. Second that machine come down to even the bare minimum to start breathing, I was automatically trying to breathe and wake up. The machine apparently just started going crazy, flashing non-stop. And then what's funny as well is, me and my brother were joking about before we went to the surgery, and we were saying oh, it's alright, if I go into the coma, just play a bit of Dappy and I'll soon wake up. And then what's hilarious is that actually happened. Just the hat thing. My mum and my brother come in, so my brother's like, "Oh, let me have a go playing a bit of Dappy, see if he wakes up." Whacks on No Regrets, and it instantly shoot up. And my mum said it looked like what is it called? Someone waking from the dead. I think that's what she said. It was like someone in a coffin just shooting up basically. So I went from like fully asleep out of it in the coma to just bang shot up out the dead. Second he started playing Dappy. But what was crazy is I weren't with it, so I started trying to rip my wires out that were like, they're attached like to your intestines and stuff, and some of them were like in your legs going to your femoral arteries. So my uncle and my mum had to pin my arms down, and then the nurse had to do some other thing, can't remember what, but yeah, the second my brother started playing Dappy, I was just boom shot up from the dead and started trying to rip all my stuff out. So then the nurse was like quickly running over, had to ask my mum and my uncle to pin me down, and then did whatever she was doing. And yeah, that was hilarious. I just found that funny. Because me and my brother were joking about it before, saying like, "Oh, it's alright, if I don't wake up, just whack Dappy on." And then the fact he whacked Dappy on, I actually started to shooting up out the dead. It's just crazy. Liver transplant. No, not a liver transplant. I'm gonna whack the Youngblood song on the low. I'm trying to think what else happened. I don't know. What is it everyone wants to know? What questions have you got? What is it you want to know? Well, like, what have you got? Because I know my family's been bombarded every day. Like literally, they get bombarded non-stop. So any questions you have got, just ask me now. When you come out of hospital, hopefully tomorrow, if not Wednesday, assuming everything like goes okay and I ain't got any like problems with my blood or anything like tomorrow. Because my last set of the infection course is tomorrow. So what the hell? My Spotify is messing up. Do you feel better? No, I actually don't. I swear to God. Surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, because I've only just come through the surgery, I felt better when I was on 10% than I do now. But what can you expect? Because I'm only 3 weeks out. But obviously I have just literally had my whole chest done through. So there's no surprise. Like, it's probably going to take months before I feel alright. Like, because obviously you got to keep in mind, I have just went through one of the most dangerous surgeries you could do. Like, they're literally switching your heart, you know? One sec. Oh god, my notifications are going through the roof. Alright, let me mute my notifications. There we go. Okay. Who was the donor? I have no clue, but they won't tell me anything. I don't even know their age, gender, nothing. And what's annoying is I wouldn't even talk about it on it. I just want to know for myself, but I ain't allowed to know nothing at all. But yeah. But even if I do know, you will never know, because I guarantee that ain't something they'd want me to talk about, and so I respect that. But I would like to know for myself, but I don't think I'll ever get told. But it is what it is. Hey, cheers Chris, thank you mate. More left and lost. He went public for the world to see. Now Louie's not alone, there'll be many in the queue. Looking for something new. Now I'm constantly stuck at like 90 beats per minute though, because when you've had a transplant, your vagus or valgus nerve gets cut, and so your heartbeat, instead of going off like, instead of changing down to your nerves and like your feelings and stuff, so say for all of you lot, right, if you lot sit there right now and you just sit there and chill and be calm, hey thank you Wills, thank you Miss Bagshit, your heart rate will lower just automatically. If you just sit there, shut your eyes, and think about something calm to you, like sit on the beach something, and check your heart rate will go lower. Then if you sit there, think about something that's made you angry in the past. Think of anything you don't like, your heart rate will start going up, right? But for me, and because the valgus nerve, or vagus now you say it, nerve's been cut, my heart rate relies purely on the adrenaline basically. So when you've had a transplant, your heart rate automatically just sits higher than a normal person. So say before, I would have been around 50, 60 at resting, now I'm like 90 just permanently all day. And say like if someone like me goes and does exercise and you start, I don't know, let's say you start pedaling or something on a bike, it will take like a minute or two before your heart rate actually raises, and then even when you stop it will stay raised for a while and then come down. Whereas say if you haven't had a heart transplant, you started pedaling on a bike, your heart rate will just go straight up, and then when you stop it will just go straight back down because you've got your nerve. But when you've had a transplant, it goes just pretty much purely off your adrenaline, because you don't have that nerve there. Well, you do, but it's been severed obviously, so it don't like work that well. It does work, but I don't have to explain it. Don't it's not the same. Does that affect? And I think, well, yeah, it affects your heart rate. Like, cheers for the galaxy, Mark. Cheers to roses, Fluffy.